Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Kings of War, and today we're going to take a look at the Dwarves, and in particular the Dwarf army set, and see how we can use this particular box set to start a Dwarf army in the game. Now we're going to go through the contents of this box set, like always, talk a little bit about all the units that come inside, before having a look at some different units we can use to expand upon this initial purchase. We'll then finally finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points, hopefully for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own Dwarf army in Kings of War. And so, to start off with, first of all, we have 30 Dwarf Ironclad with command. So, the Dwarf Ironclad are pretty much your base sort of Dwarf infantry. Melee 4+, defense 5+. This army is extremely defensively good. They do have the Headstrong rule, which is something that Dwarves have as just a generic thing to begin with, which is really cool. So what Headstrong is going to do is if a unit with this rule begins its turn wavering, you roll a die before declaring a movement order, including halt, for this unit, and on a 3+, it shrugs off the effect of wavering and is disordered instead. So, some really cool abilities to sort of allow you to keep moving your units around. Now, we then also get 20 Dwarf Shield Breakers. They're a more elite style unit. You drop down to melee 3+, but you will go down to a defense 4+, because you've got the big giant two-handed weapons there, but you're getting Crushing Strength 1 as well. Now, both these units are able to take Throwing Mastiffs, which are an army special upgrade. They're a single-use ranged attack where the Throwing Mastiff has range, 12-inch, 8 attacks, piercing 1, and they always hit on a 4+. Though, once they're used, they can't be used again for the rest of the game. We then get 20 Dwarven ranged infantry, and these can be built as either rifles or crossbows, both the different Iron Watch units. Now the difference here is they are both going to be the same stat line, so melee, defense 4+, with a range of 5+. Both have Headstrong. Now, the crossbows are 24-inch, piercing with pot shot as well. What pot shot will allow your unit to do is it's going to allow you to make some extra shots. So if this unit is given any order to other than halt, in the movement phase, any range attacks with this rule, that it makes a resolve with a -2 moving fire modifier rather than the -1. So they're not quite as great as moving around, but you do have 24-inch range, piercing 2, pot shot on your Iron Watch rifles. Now, for that extra couple of points, you will be paying 15 extra points to get those rifles over the crossbow, so there is some way up of trying to fit your units in with the correct numbers of points. And so we then get an Iron Belcher Cannon or Organ Gun, which can be built as either one of the two. The cannon is the most expensive, which is going to have a 48-inch range, D3 +1 blast damage, ignores concealed, piercing 3, reload, and shattering, and it can also do a grape shot for a 12-inch range, 10 attack, piercing 1 attack that always hits on a 6+. You've also got the Iron Belcher Organ Gun, which packs out piercing 2, reload, Organ Gun 24, and will have 12 attacks standard. So a really nice, powerful unit. Either way you look at it, I think both of them definitely have some play within a Dwarf army. Lastly is the Dwarf Lord, a solid hero with Crushing Strength 1, Headstrong, Individual, Inspiring, and Mighty. And you can also take Horn of the Heroes, where friendly core units within 6-inch can reroll failed Headstrong rolls for 15 points. Though you can't combine this with any other magical artifacts, but it is a really good upgrade to take on your Dwarf Lord, just to enable him to really start to do some work and provide a lot of buffs for that Headstrong. And so, where to go next for the Dwarf? So my first unit is the Berserker Brock Riders. For me, I think these add a ton to a Dwarf force, which can be really, really slow on the tabletop. Berserker Brock Riders are a cavalry unit you have access to, and for me, you know, that speed of 8 when it's double anything else you've got in your force is just super useful. Thunderous Charge 1 and Vicious Melee as well means they are going to be pretty nice in combat with a melee of 4+. Defense 4+ is not that great for Dwarves, but this is going to be a fast-moving hitting piece you can use to get into your opponent's backfield and attack some of those juicy range wizards and artillery pieces as well. Now, if we're looking for something else that can definitely help us hold our Dwarven line, it is the Earth Elementals. Defense 6+, melee 4+, but what they're also going to do is provide us with another hitting power unit as well, with Crushing Strength 1. They also have Pathfinder as well, which means they're going to ignore a bunch of different terrain, and then the Brutal and Shambling rules on there as well. Now, next up, we have the Rangers. I think Pathfinder and Scout here, for the same reason I like the Berserker Brock Riders, these give you a lot of movement potential. This is something you really need to add into your Dwarf force just to get those extra little bits and pieces you can, to get these movements, to get these different sort of deployment strategies and things you can ignore in the game to really help you be able to play in the maneuvering phase of the game. Now, we then are going to have, on top of that, your Rangers will have Crushing Strength 1. So they're still pretty decent in melee as well, with melee 4+, range 4+, and defense 4+. Light crossbows at 24-inch range as well. Lastly, if we are looking for another just solid Dwarven unit, the Iron Guard. Defense 6+, with throwing mastiffs available to them. They are, you know, sort of your baseline dwarves, but so much tougher. And so here we have our sample army list for the dwarves. Now we've gone with an Ironclad regiment to lead our first sort of lot of units, which will have an Ironclad troop and an Ironwatch crossbows troop in there as well. The Iron Belcher organ gun is the war machine of choice for us. I think the variety of different shots, the, you know, just 12 attacks at all times can be really great at chewing through enemy infantry. We're generally pretty good at holding up some of the more elite units in the game with high defense values, but being able to clear out hordes, which is, you know, dwarves aren't necessarily offensively the greatest unit in the game. So being able to have something that can help clear out, you know, large blobs of lesser troops is really useful. Now the Shield Breakers are in here, and they've got the Throwing Mastiff. We had enough points for one of them, so we've gone on our most offensive Dwarven unit. And then we've also got two troops with them, which is Ironwatch Rifles and Berserker Brock Riders in there as well. Lastly, for them, we have a Dwarf Lord with a Horn of Heroes. And the last thing we've added is a unit of Earth Elementals, a really good utility unit for the dwarves. Can be either an offensive piece going and crushing into your enemy lines, but also has Pathfinder as well, which is super useful in the movement part of the dwarves in game. And then you've also got the ability with your defense 6 to be a good line holding troop if you need that to be the case as well. So a really versatile unit. Now, if you've been playing with the dwarves in Kings of War, I'd love to know how you've been going, what your favourite units are, and how you would build out from that initial starter box as well. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel down below. And also, don't forget to drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our great little community here at Sinful Gaming, we have a Discord server that's linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel. Either by grabbing yourself some channel merch, either through our Ko-fi or Teespring stores, or by supporting us directly via Patreon and YouTube members. As a special thank you to everyone who does support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lau, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. And to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny 84, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revan R, Pink Noco Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, James Tillman, Disco, and John Castle. And a special thanks to Lady Witchfox R and all the amazing people who do the moderation of our Discord server and groups who make everything we do possible. Thank you all so much once again for watching, for supporting the channel. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.